Eminem's old song recently was leaked, and it said awful things about Rhianna. This is not the first time Eminem's disses crossed the line. Stay tuned, you are not going to want to miss how far his disses go. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Rhianna.
That's the first thing I thought. I was like, what? Eminem?
You ever say something or write something or post something on social media and think, man, I really shouldn't have done that? Of course you have, but at worst you say a snide remark about a person and they got over it. Hopefully. For Eminem though, oh boy did he do something way worse. Though to his credit, it didn't get leaked until a decade later. You see, he once wrote a song called Things Get Worse back in 2009. At this point in time, a certain incident was going on between Rhianna and Chris Brown. Mainly, he mistreated her badly, and it became front page news.
This happened to me. I didn't cause this.
So much so that Eminem apparently during a recording session made a special verse for the song where he said, "I'm not playing Rhianna, where'd you get the VD at? Let me add my 2 cents, of course I side with Chris Brown, I'd beat it down too if she gave my an itch now." Yeah, that's cold. Now to be clear, it didn't get released on the song. In fact, the song got released 2 years later and didn't feature anything close to this. So it's possible that Eminem got more information and realized that what he said was pretty wild and outlandish. The other ironic thing about this situation is that Eminem in recent years has made it very clear how much he loves Rhianna. They even made a song together in 2013, so they're clearly on good terms.
Second thought was, of course I'll do a song with Eminem. Like, that's just something that doesn't come around every day, you know?
Which was enforced by a spokesperson for Eminem after the leak happened. After Eminem recorded it, he scrapped it and rewrote it. Obviously, he and Rhianna had a great relationship. And it's true, they honestly do have a good relationship. Though regardless of whether he scrapped it for one reason or another, he still made it. And if/when Rhianna hears it, you can bet she won't be happy. Taking down Ja Rule.
To M's beef with Source magazine owner Benzino, to the well-documented feud between 50 Cent and Ja Rule.
While Eminem is one to throw down when insulted, he's also one to stick up for his friends when needed. In fact, Eminem is rather legendary for the loyalty that he has for his friends. And when it comes to the rap world, he's not afraid to go and lay down diss tracks with his brothers in arms to settle scores. Such as with his fellow record label rapper 50 Cent. Eminem actually helped recruit 50 Cent into the rap game, which is why Get Rich or Die Tryin' was such a colossal hit. And even beyond that, the two are really good friends. So when 50 Cent was in a feud with Ja Rule and he needed backup, Eminem was there, and he was ready to help in any way possible. In what was considered one of the most epic and complete beatdowns in rap history, Busta Rhymes, 50 Cent, and Eminem all went at Ja Rule with everything that they had. They did tracks taking apart everything Ja Rule has done or ever claimed to have done. For Eminem specifically, he did a song called Hail Mary, where he portrayed Ja Rule as an imitator and a rapper whose brain had melted because of substance abuse. He referred to him as a fake, a wuss, and many other stronger terms. And when he and the others were done, XXL magazine describes it as one of the hardest hitting diss tracks of all time, and he personally didn't have a beef with the guy other than him being a rival of 50 Cent. So as you can see, Eminem will totally go the distance when his friends need him. Now to be fair, he probably did go a little far in trying to put Ja Rule in his place, and the feud between Ja Rule and 50 Cent is most definitely still ongoing all these years later. But the fact remains, Eminem was called in and he did what he did best, put his rap skills to use for the greater good, and I'm sure 50 Cent is very grateful for that. Rap God versus Rap Devil.
Ready? I'll tell you, I had a clip ready. I heard Kill Shot and I put that back in the holster. I'm like, oh, word. All right.
This is the feud that in many ways helped Eminem get back to where he needed to be in the rap world. All it took was a rapper like MGK to get it all started. But let's backtrack for a second. You see, for the last couple of years, Eminem wasn't really on top of his game. Not that he wasn't putting out music, but rather he wasn't putting out music that people were exactly getting behind. So, he decided to do an album in secret called Kamikaze, and in doing so, he decided to call out certain people. In fact, he went on a spree of sorts and started calling out every single person who has ever had a beef with him, problems with him, or rubbed him the wrong way in any way, shape, or form. One of those people was MGK. MGK is honestly a famous rapper himself in his own right, and for a long time he idolized Eminem and even called him his inspiration, which is very common given the impact Eminem had on the rap world. But then he made a mistake by making a not so smart tweet about Eminem's daughter Haley, and nobody says anything about Eminem's daughter that can be taken the wrong way and get away with it. So Eminem stewed for 6 years and dropped a lyric about MGK saying about how weak he truly is. To his credit, MGK didn't take this lying down and created what many feel was his best rap song ever in the diss track Rap Devil, which was a pun on Rap God, which Eminem has called himself, and it's a song title as well. Many were impressed that MGK stepped up to the plate in this feud, but many also noted that while interesting and visually impressive in regards to the music video, it wasn't the best in terms of actual disses. I mean, the guy literally said the beard is weird as a diss. Many believe he could have done better. When Rap Devil came out, Eminem wasted no time coming back and creating his own diss track called Kill Shot. It was perfectly constructed to break down Rap Devil into all of its parts and insult MGK in every single way that mattered. This is Eminem we're talking about after all. The man knows how to make a diss track. Sure enough, not only did Kill Shot, which was only a lyric track, no music video, get more views and listens than Rap Devil, it effectively ended the feud. Even MGK himself said that he wasn't going to respond to Kill Shot. In his take though, he said he had a response ready, but that he put it away because it wouldn't do any good. Whether you believe that reply is up to you, but the facts speak for themselves. Not long after the feud ended, MGK released a very somber music track and music video talking about how he was depressed and that life wasn't going as he should. Sure, it could be just an expression of past feelings, or it could be a reaction to how Eminem put him through the ringer. You decide. Love is patient. Love is a diss track.
I felt like during the time, because whatever him and Mariah had going on, one, I felt like it was weird.
Did you know that Eminem and Mariah Carey were together at one point? I didn't. I didn't even know they had feelings for each other, because these two are very different people, which may have led to the very public and epic feud that occurred when they decided to break up. You see, for all her greatness and glory and style, Mariah Carey is very much a diva. This has been noted by many people over the years, including her own fans, and she sometimes doesn't know when to stop, especially when it comes to complaining about others. So as I noted, they dated and then some, and then when her relationship with him fell apart, she decided to make the song Obsessed, which insulted Eminem in numerous ways. So would you like to guess what he did in reply? Oh yeah, he fought right back with a track called The Warning, where he not only laid down the hurt on Mariah Carey, he decided to get explicit in regards to their encounters they once had. Many people noted that this track was actually as harmful to Eminem as it was to Mariah Carey, but he honestly has a thicker skin than Mariah, and he also used the song as a literal warning that if she didn't want more explicit stuff released to the world, she should let this go. After finding out about the song, Carey did indeed stop cold, and it's not hard to see why. Love may be complicated, but that doesn't give you the excuse to bash your former lover and not expect consequences. You live and learn, Mariah. You live and learn. Did you want to win any of these items on the screen? If so, be sure to watch the whole video, leave a like, and comment the hidden message. And with that being said, let's get right back into the video. Drake.
With hip hop, people took that line and thought you were indirectly talking about Drake.
It's not uncommon for some of the top stars to go toe-to-toe for true supremacy in regards to fame and fortune. When it comes to the top of the rap game, Drake is most definitely at number one because of his constant output of tracks and albums. Eminem is near the top, but not as close to Drake as he would have been back in his prime, which is fine because he doesn't put out that much music anymore. Both Drake and Eminem have traded blows in the past, but never getting to the full tilt level, or at least not yet. One feud that honestly did happen between these two is that Drake and Eminem worked together on a song with some other rappers. With each rapper having their own verse in the track, the song was a hit when it came out, and many praised Eminem for his lyrics. Especially. However, Drake later did a concert that used that song and the other rappers, but they didn't bring Eminem with them, which rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, including Eminem. The two apparently made up later on, as Drake started to sing the song at another concert, and then Eminem appeared on stage to do his piece. However, it was believed last year that when Eminem released his diss album Kamikaze, that he had a spot on his song Lucky You that was aimed at Drake. Here is the lyric in question. I got a couple of mansions, still I don't have any manners. You got a couple of ghostwriters, but to these kids it don't actually matter. They're asking me what the happened to hip-hop. I said, I don't have any answers. To be clear, this set of lyrics is about ghostwriting, or the act of having someone else write a song that you sing, and yet you take all the credit for it. Eminem is very much against this, and Drake has stated that he is too, but he's also been accused of ghostwriting by others in the past. So people put two and two together and made this a diss for Drake. But Eminem was very open and honest in saying that this isn't the case. Drake is going to always be in my good graces because he did something for one of my daughters that I will never forget, and he will always be in my graces for that.
Did something for one of my daughters that I will never forget, and he will always be in my graces with that. And I like Drake.
Eminem said. And I like Drake. What I'm telling you with these lines is, I don't know what's real and what's not at this point, because you hear about this rapper, that rapper, whatever. I'm telling you that I don't do it, he noted. Never have and never will. If I ever need a ghostwriter, I need to just put the mic down. I don't know about you, but I feel really happy about this, because oftentimes we see people diss each other even when they don't have to. Here, Eminem went out of his way to explain why he and Drake are good, and apparently Drake really did earn that respect, which is always nice to know. Of course, that's not to say that these two won't go to war at some point in time. Rap sometimes just works out that way, but at present it appears these two are good. If the diss had been pointed at Drake though, it honestly could have been ugly, because Drake hates being called a ghostwriter. But it wasn't, and that is something we should be happy about, because these two are better when making music together and not against one another. Don't screw with Eminem, Limp Bizkit.
It's not really listed on the record, but the song is called Girls, and it's talking about Limp Bizkit.
This one in particular is from the earlier days of Eminem's career, back when Limp Bizkit was honestly one of the biggest bands around, especially in terms of groups. The group and Eminem were actually friends for some time, but then a series of events and choices led to them having a falling out. Mainly, Limp Bizkit decided to diss Eminem, and then go and support one of his rivals in the rap world. Not very cool, Limp Bizkit, not cool. When Eminem heard about this, he fired back with a diss track called Girls, where he lays into the group viciously, especially DJ Lethal, and destroys their cred by calling them all sorts of names and rebuking everything that they've done. Needless to say, the feud ended after the diss track, and Eminem proved once again that you don't mess with him unless you're sure you can take what's coming next. It also should be noted that Limp Bizkit is no longer making music. So did Eminem kind of ruin their careers? I'll leave that up to you. Eminem versus his family.
In her life, you know, how she's feeling, how was her day, what's, you know, going on. He was just always there for her.
Eminem has a very interesting life, but it most definitely didn't start out the way it should have in terms of his family life. His father abandoned his mother and him when he was only a few years old. Then his mother had a hard time keeping a job, so they had to move around a lot, and that affected him even more. Where are the disses? That came early in his rap career, because Eminem's resentment against his mother went into the song Cleaning Out My Closet, where he revealed some of the things that his mother had done to both him and herself over the course of his youth, including substance use on her part and physical mistreating on him. His mother was so appalled by this that she actually tried to sue him for slander. It didn't work out for her at all, and it actually cost her money to sue him since she played her cards wrong. Then there was his now ex-wife Kim, who he had a very turbulent relationship with during his career, including getting divorced and then getting remarried to her. They had a daughter named Haley too, but when they decided to separate, he tried to be fair and do shared custody of Haley, but she went behind his back and tried to get full custody and make sure he couldn't see her anymore. He fired back in many ways, including a song called Kim, which got, let's just say, dark. And there was a blow-up doll incident at a concert once. It was weird. Eventually the two worked it out, but those wounds still hurt Eminem. It's stated that him and Kim do talk, and that Haley has a good relationship with both of her parents, but you have to wonder if those wounds still hold tight for Kim and for Eminem. The 6ix9ine situation. Okay, let's pull a bit of a swerve here. Instead of talking about who Eminem has dissed right off the bat, let's talk about how for some reason Eminem has yet to diss the mumble rapper known as 6ix9ine. Trust me, I'm shocked as well. But in his career that we could look at, we could not find a single diss specifically at 6ix9ine. To be clear, there have been plenty of disses thrown at mumble rappers, and we'll be talking about a few of them later, but it's odd that he hasn't thrown shade at 6ix9ine. Why should we care that he hasn't thrown anything at 6ix9ine? Because he's everything that Eminem despises, including being a mumble rapper, not having respect, not doing songs in the way that they are meaningful, and such. And one time, via a deleted Instagram post, 6ix9ine once said that he was a better lyricist than Eminem. Again, Eminem has made his thoughts and feelings very clear in terms of how he feels about mumble rap as a whole. But if there was ever a time to go off on a singular person for being a disgrace to the rap profession and starting beef with people for nothing more than to get more attention, which for the record is a reference to 6ix9ine, as he's done that tons of times, the time is now. The 6ix9ine court case is a breeding ground of disses just waiting to be made. From how he got arrested to becoming a snitch to how he's getting out soon. It's quite literally perfect. If there was ever a time to go too far, it'd be with the guy that everyone in the rap community despises. So I wouldn't doubt that Eminem wouldn't hold back. Eminem versus the
That's an awfully hot coffee pot. Should I drop it on Donald Trump? Probably not.
president. Now, usually rappers are one of the last people to get political because they're usually the ones getting oppressed by the law and thus trying to avoid it at all costs. But sometimes they lash out and use their songs to make political statements to try and change things, like the way NWA did with F the Police and certain other songs. But for Eminem, he didn't go after the government. he went after the man leading the government of the United States. Eminem took on Donald Trump. In a rather infamous bit, he did a 4-minute freestyle rap on BET once, and had most of it focused on Donald Trump. Now, while many noted in reactions to that freestyle rap that it wasn't the best that Eminem has ever done, is that really what we should be focused on here? I don't think it is. He was trying to speak the truth about what was going on in the country in regards to Trump, and every insult that he spewed in that freestyle rap is backed up by facts. This wasn't a diss track that was made weeks before, it was a freestyle rap from the heart that he wanted to show his frustration on. When the rap went live on Twitter, it got retweeted over 500,000 times, and even people who aren't associated in the genre in the slightest took note of the freestyle beef and praised Eminem for what he did, including outspoken journalist for the ESPN, Keith Olbermann. Now, usually that would be the end of it, except Trump apparently made a move against Eminem, and Eminem decided to detail it in Kamikaze. Sent the Secret Service to meet me in person to see if I really think of hurting him, or ask if I'm linked to terrorists. I empathize with the people this evil serpent sold a dream to that he's deserted. Now, I'm sure that some people out there will go, if Trump really did send the Secret Service to meet Eminem, it was because of legitimate reasons. But let's be honest here, is freedom of speech really a legitimate reason? So whether those raps went too far might just depend on your stance with both Trump and Eminem. And there you have it, folks, a look at some of the disses that Eminem took too far. Which of these was the farthest in your mind? Which of them do you think hit the hardest on their recipients? Do you think that Eminem will go this hard on someone else in the future? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Be sure to subscribe. I'm King Trending, and I'll see you next time.
A simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's really your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Go for it.